The distress beacon had been broadcasting for 72 cycles when the Galactic Council finally intercepted it. Commander Zixter, a crystalline being from the peaceful world of Lumina 7, studied the coordinates with mounting concern. The signal originated from Outpost Karanine, a research station on the edge of the Void Sector region now controlled by the Vraxian Horde. The Vraxians have taken hostages, Zixter announced to the council chamber. 15 researchers. We must respond. The council members exchanged worried glances. The Vraxians were brutal, their exoskeletons impervious to most conventional weapons. They stood 8 feet tall and possessed strength enough to crush Duralloy with their bare claws. No council species had ever successfully mounted a rescue against them. We should negotiate, suggested Ambassador Quinn, her tentacles writhing nervously. Perhaps we can offer them. We tried negotiating 3 cycles ago, Zixter interrupted. They executed 2 hostages as a response. Silence fell over the chamber. Every delegate knew what this meant. The hostages were as good as dead. That's when the transmission came through. Galactic Council, this is Captain Julia Martinez of the Terran Expeditionary Force. We've intercepted your distress calls. We're in the sector. We can help. Zixter had never heard of Terrans. A quick search of the database revealed troubling information. Earth classified as a classed world. The entry was flagged with multiple warnings. Extreme gravity, volatile atmosphere, apex predators at every level of the food chain. Native species evolved under constant threat of extinction. Terrans, Zixter said hesitantly. Your world is listed as uninhabitable by council standards. Yeah, we get that a lot, came the casual reply. Look, we're 3 hours out. Do you want our help or not? The council had no better options. 3 hours later, the Terran ship materialized in orbit above Outpost Karanine. It was smaller than expected, a lean, predatory design that seemed built for speed and violence rather than exploration. 2 figures transported down to the council command ship. Julia Martinez stepped into the chamber first, and Zixter felt an instinctive pulse of alarm. She was compact but moved with the fluid grace of a hunter, her dark eyes constantly scanning for threat. Behind her came Oscar Chen, taller and broader, carrying equipment that looked disturbingly like weapons. Captain Martinez, Zixter said, trying to keep his crystalline structure from vibrating with anxiety. I must inform you, the Varaxians are highly dangerous. They have never been defeated in close combat. Perhaps we should reconsider how many hostiles, Oscar asked, his voice calm and direct. Scans indicate 37 Vraxians inside the station. Julia and Oscar exchanged a glance. To Zixter's shock, they smiled. 37, Julia repeated. That's actually manageable. Manageable. Ambassador Quinn's tentacles stood rigid with disbelief. Each Vraxian could tear through a squad of council peacekeepers. With respect, Ambassador, Oscar said, checking his weapons power cell. Your peacekeepers didn't evolve, dodging saber-toothed tigers and wrestling bears. Zixter didn't understand the references, but something in Oscar's tone made him believe the human wasn't exaggerating. The assault began 30 minutes later. The council monitors watched in stunned silence as Julia and Oscar breached the station. The Varaxians responded immediately, rushing the entrance with their characteristic overwhelming force. What happened next defied everything the council understood about combat. Julia moved like liquid shadow, her reaction time impossibly fast. She slid beneath a Vraxian strike, her blade finding the weak point between its exoskeleton plates with surgical precision. The creature fell before it realized it was dead. Oscar fought differently, brutal and direct. When a Vraxian lunged at him, he didn't dodge. He caught its claw mid-strike, muscles straining against the alien's strength, then delivered a strike with his weapon at point-blank range. The Vraxian's exoskeleton, supposedly impervious, shattered. Impossible, Quinn whispered. They're enduring impacts that would pulverize our bone structure. Their bones are reinforced with something called calcium and collagen. Zixter read from the database, his voice shaking, evolved to withstand the crushing gravity of their homeworld, and their muscle density. By the stars, they're built like walking siege weapons. The Vraxians quickly realized they weren't facing ordinary prey. They began coordinating, trying to overwhelm the humans with numbers. Julia and Oscar adapted instantly, fighting back-to-back, covering each other's blind spots with practiced efficiency. A Vraxian chieftain, larger than the others, emerged from the station's depths. It roared a challenge that made the monitors crackle. Oscar stepped forward to meet it. The fight lasted 43 seconds. Oscar used the Varaxian's momentum against it, redirected its strikes, and found openings the creature didn't know existed. When the chieftain fell, the remaining Vraxians hesitated for the first time in council records. That hesitation was fatal. 18 minutes after the breach, Julia's voice came over the command. This is Martinez. Station secured. All hostages alive and accounted for. Hostile casualties. All of them. The council chamber erupted in chaos. Species who had cowered before the Raxians for generations couldn't comprehend what they'd witnessed. When Julia and Oscar returned to the command ship, Zixter approached them with newfound respect and wariness. You fought 37 Vraxians and won, he said. How is this possible? Julia shrugged, wiping alien blood from her blade. On Earth, we call that Tuesday, your world. Zixter continued carefully. The database classifies it as a death world, a place where nearly everything is actively trying to kill you. That's accurate, Oscar confirmed. Then how do you survive? How did you become the dominant species? Julia and Oscar exchanged another look, something ancient and primal flickering in their eyes. Commander, Julia said quietly, we didn't survive our world. We conquered it. Every redditor, every disaster, every threat we adapted. We overcame. We prevailed. Earth didn't make us weak. It forged us into something the galaxy has never seen before. Deathworlders, Zixter breathed. Humans, Oscar corrected with a slight smile. And we're here to help, whether the galaxy is ready for us or not. As the Terran ship departed, Zixter updated the database entry for Earth. Next to the classification Death World, he added a new notation: species, extreme caution advised. Potential, immeasurable. Recommendation, alliance strongly preferred to opposition. The Vraxians had learned too late. The galaxy was about to discover what happens when you corner creatures from a world that spent millions of years trying to kill them. The Deathworlders had arrived.